Hello, my dear children and parents. Welcome to class 8th of Indus Valley Public School Rat, where we were doing lesson number 4 from Honeydew. The name of the lesson was Vipin Chaudhary Lapse of Memory by Satyajit Ray. In the last video, we have discussed about the author Satyajit Ray and the part 1 and part 2 of the lesson, where we have discussed about the characters. Vipin Chaudhary, the main character of the story, that is protagonist. Then we have also studied about Dinesh Mukherjee. Then we have studied about Parimal Ghosh. And now, in the further part, in part number 3 and part number 4, we will be studying about the character Paresh Chandra and Chunni Lal. Before moving to the characters, before moving to the part 3 and part 4, I will be briefing you what we have studied. We have studied about Vipin Babu or Vipin Chaudhary, who was very fond of reading books. So, on Monday, he was there in the Kalicharan market and he was purchasing a book. He was purchasing book for himself, and he observed somebody was looking at him continuously, and that was unknown to him. But that strange person has given many of the evidences to prove him that he is a known person to him. Even he made him to believe that he was there in Ranchi at 1958, for which Vipin Babu continuously denying that he was not there. But Parimal Ghosh, the stranger, gave many evidences which insisted or which made Vipin Babu to think on that. He was unable to focus in his work also, because every time the thing were revolving into his head, he was continuously thinking on that thing. I was not there in Ranchi, but how this fellow is saying that I was in Ranchi in 1958, and how he is able to give me the evidences, that is something very secret, that is very private of my life. Now moving ahead to this story, coming to the third and the fourth part of the story. So my dear children, before moving to the third part and the fourth part of the lesson, we should discuss about the comprehension questions that I had given you in your previous video. So coming to the question number 1 of your comprehension check. So first question was, see, why did the man stare at Vipin Babu in disbelief? So what will be the answer for this thing? The man knew Vipin Babu, but Vipin Babu was denying that fact that he is knowing that strange person. Therefore, he was staring at him in disbelief. Got the answer? Okay. I repeat the answer once more. The man knew Vipin Babu, but Vipin Babu was continuously denying that he is knowing Parimal Ghosh. Therefore, he was staring at him in disbelief. Next question. Where did Vipin Babu say he went in October 1958? So, Vipin Babu said he went to Kanpur at his friend's place in October 58. Next question. Mention any 3 or more things that Parimal Ghosh knew about Vipin Babu. So, Vipin Babu's intimate secret were known to Parimal Ghosh. He knew that Vipin Babu always carries a bag of books with him. He had no children. He lost his wife 10 years ago, and his only brother died insane. Moreover, he had a cut in his right knee. So, you can choose any 3. Okay, my dear children. Now, coming to the second part of the comprehension checks. Here are your questions. Yeah, these are your questions. So first question, why did Vipin Babu worry about what Parimal Ghosh had said? So Vipin Babu was worried about what Parimal Ghosh had said about him, because all those were intimate details which only a close person could know, and Vipin Babu did not know the man. Okay, I repeat the answer. Vipin Babu was worried about the Parimal Ghosh, whatever he said, because all those were intimate details which only a close person could know, and Vipin Babu did not know the man. How did he try to decide who was right, his memory or Parimal Ghosh? So, Vipin Babu tried by calling Dinesh Mukherjee to know about his trip to Ranchi. He found Parimal Ghosh was right. Next question. Why did Vipin Babu hesitate to visit Mr. Mukherjee? Why did he finally decide to phone him? So, Vipin Babu first hesitated to ring up Mr. Mukherjee because he thought that if he calls Mr. Mukherjee and confirm the trip, he would think him insane, and moreover he could not make his ruthless sarcasm. So he finally decided to do so because he wanted to know the truth. Next question. What did Mr. Mukherjee say? Did it comfort Vipin Babu or add to his worries? So what will be the answer? Mr. Mukherjee said that Vipin Babu did not go to Ranchi along with him in 1958. Mr. Mukherjee said that Vipin Babu did go to Ranchi along with him in 1958. This added to his worries because he did not remember anything about his trip. Okay, children, so these are the answers for your questions. Now coming to the third part of the lesson. So here is your third part. After lunchtime, Vipin Babu realized that he could not possibly carry on sitting at his desk and working. This had never happened in 25 years he had been with the firm. He had a reputation for being a tireless, conscientious worker, but today his head was in a whirl. So now he is saying that while he was in his workplace, while he was working, he was not feeling comfortable, and he was working in that place for 25 years. And he is saying that in that 25 years, he never felt so much restless, so much uncomfortable that he's feeling right now. And because all the talks of that person was revolving inside his head, and he is very conscientious worker, and he never felt in such a position. Okay, why? Because everything was revolving into his head. All because he never went to Ranchi in 1958, but whatever the proofs were coming, it is always in his thought, against his thought. Okay, so he was worried about that. Now coming to the next part. So conscientious means, here conscious means hota hai careful and correct. Okay, conscious. Back home at 2:30, Vipin Babu lay down in bed and tried to gather his wits together. He knew that it was possible to lose one's memory through an injury in the head, but he did not know of a single instance of somehow remembering anything except one particular incident, and a fairly recent and significant one at that. So now what happened? So he came back from his office at 2:30 and he laid down in his bed, and he was trying to remember all the things that has happened in his life, but he was not able to recall anything. So now he was confused, and now he was thinking that one person can lose his memory only if that person is having any injury in the head, but he did not know of a single instance of someone remembering anything except one particular incident. So what happened? He was making all kind of efforts to recall that had there any kind of remembrance or any kind of incidents or is there any accident that he has faced, so he had lost the memory, but he was not able to gather any kind of information. He had always wanted to go to Ranchi. So now he said that now he fairly only one thing he was able to recall, that he was planning to go Ranchi but he never went to Ranchi. So he is saying that he had always wanted to go to Ranchi. To have gone there, done things and not to remember was something utterly impossible. Utterly impossible. He's saying it is like things that is completely impossible. Means he was planning to go, but he never went. But he has so many memories in memory in concern to the visit, but that is completely impossible. Utterly impossible. He never went to that place. At 7:30, Vipin Babu's servant came and announced, "Chunni Babu sir, says it's very important." So now around 7:30, one of his friend Chunni Babu, he visited Vipin Babu's friend, and the servant of Vipin Babu came to his room and said, "So it's very important. Your friend Chunni Babu wants to meet you." Vipin Babu knew what Chunni had come for. So now Vipin Babu was knowing the purpose of coming of Chunni Lal. So Chunni Lal had been at school with him. So now Chunni Lal is his school friend. He had been having a rough time lately and had been coming to see him about job. So now what Chunni Babu is facing a very tough time. So every time he used to Vipin Babu. Why? Because he want to have job. Vipin Babu knew it was not possible to do anything for him, and in fact told him so. So Vipin Babu many times told him that he will not be able to help him out regarding the job, and he told this fact many times. But Chunni kept turning up like a bad penny. So even then also Chunni used to visit Vipin Babu, as Vipin Babu, even he was not welcomed by the Vipin Babu. He was not welcomed by Vipin Babu. Then also Chunni used to visit his place. Vipin Babu sent word that not only was it not possible for him to see now, but not in several weeks. So Vipin Babu told his servant that go and tell Chunni that I will not be able to meet you right now, as well as for many other weeks also. But as soon as servant stepped out of the room, it struck Vipin Babu that Chunni might remember something about the trip, 58 trip. There was no harm in asking him. So now what happened? Suddenly a thing struck to Vipin Babu's mind, and he thought might be Chunni knowing something about 58. So he immediately hurried down. So Vipin Babu hurried down the stairs and into the living room. Chunni was about to leave, but seeing Vipin Babu appear, he turned round hopefully. So now what happened? He said, hurriedly Vipin Babu came to the living room, and where Chunni was about to leave, but Chunni saw Vipin Babu is coming down, so he waited there in a hope that Vipin Babu might help him out. Okay. So Vipin Babu did not beat about the bush. That means he directly came to the point. He did not revolve the word. Listen, Chunni, I want to ask you something. You have a good memory, and you have been seeing me off and on for a long time. Just throw your mind back and tell me, did I go to Ranchi in 1958? So now Vipin Babu is saying to Chunni that you have a very good memory, and you have been seeing me every now and then, and just let me know whether I had been to Ranchi in 1958 or not. Chunni said, 58? It must be 58, or was it 59? So now Chunni was making confusion that it may be 58 or 59. You are sure that I did go to Ranchi? So now Vipin is saying, are you sure that I was in Ranchi? Chunni, look, so amazement was not unmixed with worry. So he gave a very surprised look, and that was not into worry. Do you mean you have doubt about having gone at all? So now Chunni is saying to Vipin Babu, do you have a doubt that you visited Ranchi? Did I go? Do you remember clearly? Now again Vipin Babu is making clear, assuring him, asking him again and again, are you sure that I have been there? Chunni sat down on the sofa, fixed Vipin Babu with a long, hard stare and said. So he sat on the sofa and gave him a gaze, a continuous look. Vipin, have you taken to drug or something? So he asked, have you taken something? As far as I know, you had a clean record where such things were concerned. So he's saying, I think you were having a clear memory. You are having a good memory. Wherever you do, you have all kinds of records. Now, why you are making such kind of confusion? I know that old friendship doesn't mean much to you, but at least you had a good memory. So he's saying that I know friends are not important to you, old friends are not important to you, but you are having a good memory. Then why you are having such kind of confusion that were you in Ranchi in 1958 or not? Because you are having a good memory, then how can you be confused with that? You can't really mean that you have forgotten about the Ranchi trip. Now, Chunni Lal is saying that I don't believe that you will be able to forget that trip. Vipin Babu had to turn away from Chunni's incredulous stare. So now, he went away from that unbelievable look of Chunni's. Do you remember what my last job was? Asked Chunni Lal. So now, in order to check his memory, Chunni Lal asked Vipin Babu about his job. Of course, you worked in a travel agency. So Vipin Babu said, yes, I know it. You were working in a travel agency. You remember that, and you don't remember that it was I who fixed up your railway booking for Ranchi? So now he is saying that, Chunni is saying to Vipin Babu, you remember that I was working in a travel agency, but you cannot recall that I was only the person who had booked the ticket for you for the Ranchi. I went to the station to see you off, and I only went to see you off from that place. One of the fans in your compartment was not working. I got an electrician to fix it. Have you forgotten everything? So now Chunni is saying that I was the person who dropped you to the station, and one of the fan of your compartment was not working, so I called up the electrician and asked him to repair it. You're not able to recall all this thing? Whatever is the matter with you, you don't look too well, you know. So now Chunni is saying to Vipin, whatever the thing had happened to you, I don't know what happened to you, but you seems to be ill, you're not fit. Vipin Babu sighed and shook his head. So now what happened? He shook, means he gave a yes response to him and sat quietly. I have been working too hard, he said at last. That must be the reason. Must see about consulting a specialist. So now Vipin is saying that I was working so hard, it might be my hard work, that's why brain is not working. I must consult a doctor right now. Doubtless, it was Vipin's condition which made Chunni Lal leave without mentioning anything about her job. So now Chunni Lal did not talk or did not ask about his job anymore, and looking at his condition, he went off without saying anything. Paresh Chandra was a young physician with a pair of bright eyes and a sharp nose. So now Chunni Lal went and visited Paresh Chandra. He was a young physician and having a bright eyes and a sharp nose. He became thoughtful when he heard about Vipin's symptom. So now doctor became very much concerned after listening the situation of Vipin Babu. Look, Dr. Chandra, said Vipin Babu desperately. So desperately means eagerly showing the need, eagerly showing the consultation. You must cure me of this horrible illness. I can't tell you how it is affecting my work. So now Vipin Babu is saying to Dr. Chandra that this illness, this thing is affecting his work very adversely. Kindly help me out to move out of the situation. Dr. Chandra shook his head. You know what, Mr. Chaudhary, he said. I have never had to deal with a case such as yours. So now Dr. Chandra is saying your case is something very different. I never met such cases. It's very strange. Frankly, this is quite outside my field of experience. But I have one suggestion. I don't know if it will work, but it's worth a try. It can do no harm. So now he is saying that fine. Whatever case you're telling me, it is like for me it's a first experience, but I'll tell you a solution and you try it out. It may help you out. Okay. Vipin Babu leaned forward anxiously. So he, for listening the solution, he was very eagerly and showed his concern, showed his nervousness to hear his solution. As far as I can make out, said Dr. Chandra, and I think you are of the same opinion. You must have been to Ranchi, but due to some unknown reason, the entire episode had slipped out of your mind. So now Dr. Chandra is saying that you might have gone to Ranchi and because of some incidents you have slipped out that situation, that full episode, that full visit. So what I suggest is that you go to Ranchi once again. The sight of place may remind you of your trip. This is not impossible. So he said that okay fine, this thing is not in your memory. So do one thing, you make a visit to Ranchi once more. So whatever the places and moment, roads and everything make you see and you can recall the things. More than that I cannot do at the moment. Doctor said more than this I cannot suggest you anything. So do it if possible. I am prescribing a nerve tonic and tranquilizer. So he is saying that okay fine, I'll give you a medicine and a tonic so you can have it. Sleep is essential or the symptoms will get more pronounced. So he is saying that I'll give you the medicine, you can have it, and sleep is very necessary for you. If you'll not sleep, then your condition may get worse. Vipin Babu felt somewhat better the next morning. After breakfast, he rang up his office, gave some instructions and then procured a first-class ticket for Ranchi for the same evening. So what happened? So next day he was feeling well. He called up his office and said, gave them some instruction, and then he somehow managed to get the ticket for the same evening to Ranchi, and then he went to Ranchi. So homework, comprehension check question. Who was Chunilal? What did he want from Vipin Babu? Next question. Why was Dr. Chandra puzzled? What was unusual about Vipin Babu's loss of memory? Okay. So now these two questions to it. Coming to the next part. Part number 4. Getting off the train. So now he is in Ranchi. Let's see what is happening. Getting off the train at Ranchi next morning, he realized at once that he had never been there before. So as soon as he gets down from the train, Vipin Babu realized that he never came to this place. He came out of the station, took a taxi and drove around the town for a while. So he called up the taxi and he was moving around. He realized that the streets, the buildings, the hotels, the bazaars, the Moravadi Hill, with none of these had he the slightest acquaintance. So he is saying that he has seen everything, the hotels, the bazaar, the buildings and everything was new to him. Any of these things were not holding any kind of memory for him. So everything was new to him. So now he's saying, would a trip to Hudro's Fall help? So now he was thinking about the Hudro's Fall. He didn't believe so. But at the same time, he didn't wish to leave with the feeling that he hadn't tried enough. So he was already have a gut feeling that he never went to Ranchi, but he thought of visiting Hudro's Fall. So he went there so that there should not be any question that he had not made efforts to recall his memory. So he went to Hudro's Fall. So he arranged for a car and left for Hudro in the afternoon. At 5 o'clock the same afternoon in Hudro, two Gujarati gentlemen from a group of picnickers discovered Vipin Babu lying unconscious beside a boulder. So what happened? So he went there at 5 o'clock and he was fainted. He was not in the senses. and it was observed by the Gujarati gentlemen that who all went to make a picnic over there. When he came round, the first thing Vipin Babu said was, "I am finished. There no hope left." So all the hope, all the things were gone from him because he was not able to recall his memory. So he was pissed off with his things. Next morning, Vipin Babu was back in Calcutta. He realized that there was truly no hope for him. Soon he would lose everything: his will to work, his confidence, his ability, his balance of mind. So now when he went to Ranchi and he did not get any hope, any memory of his remembrance, nothing he was able to recall about his trip to Ranchi in 1958, he came back to Calcutta again and he was saying that no hope is left in him. Now his will to work is also over, his confidence is over, his mind, balance of mind is over, everything is gone now because he was not able to recall his trip. Was he going to end up in the asylum at? So now he is saying, now he is going to end up to visit asylum is a place where treatment of the mentally ill people is given. So he is saying that, oh, now I am also going to end my life in asylum. Okay. Vipin Babu could not think anymore. Now he is not able to think anymore. Back home, he rang up Dr. Chandra and asked him to come over. So now he came to his Calcutta's home and he rang up Dr. Chandra and asked him to meet him. Then, after a shower, he got into the bed with an ice bag clamped on his head. So now, after taking the bath, he was in his bed and he was having some ice bag and he was massaging his head from that. Just then, servant brought him a letter which someone had left in the letter box. And now, servant gave him a letter, a greenish envelope with his name in red ink on it. So, envelope color was green and it was written in the red color. Let's see what was there. Above the name, it said urgent and confidential. So, envelope के ऊपर लिखा हुआ था urgent and confidential. In spite of his condition, Vipin Babu had a feeling that he ought to go through the letter. He tore open the envelope and took out the letter. That is what he read. So now his condition was not good. Even then he opened the letter and read it out. Let's see what is there. Dear Vipin, I had no idea that affluence would bring about the kind of change in you that it has done. So here affluence means it's a deal of money or a position of great deal for money. Okay. So now here it is written for Vipin Babu. I had no idea that affluence would bring about the kind of change in you that it has done. Was it so difficult for you to help out an old friend down on his luck? I have no money, so my resources are limited. What I have is imagination, a part of which I used in retribution of your unfeeling behavior. Well, you will be alright again now. A novel I have written is being considered by a publisher. If he likes it enough, it will see me through the few next month. So now he is saying that I was not having an idea that such change will be there in you, because you were not helping out one of your old friend who was in a very bad or very needy condition. And I was not having any money and my resources were limited. I only have the imaginations and which I have used, and soon my magazine will be published and my novel will be published and I will be having enough money. I'll see me through the few next months, और मैं कुछ महीनों के बाद देखूँगा. And this all thing made him understand that this was a thing that was played by Chunni Lal. But this was a prank. It was played because Vipin Babu did not help Chunni Lal in his needy time. So it was only to make him understand about the situations. In this letter, it is cleared that I had no idea that affluence, that the position is going to disturb you so much. When Dr. Chandra came, Vipin Babu said, I'm fine. It all came back as soon as I got off the train at Ranchi. A unique case. So now Vipin Babu is saying that, yeah, everything is fine. Now I understood everything. So now Dr. Chandra is saying it's a unique case. I shall certainly write about it in a medical journal. So Dr. Chandra is saying now, wow, what a unique case. I'm going to write a journal in this case. The reason why I sent for you, said Vipin Babu, is that I have a pain in the hip from a fall I had in Ranchi. If you could prescribe a painkiller. So now he's saying that he want to sum up that thing. So he said, I just call you up to have some medicine because I am having a pain in my hip because I had a fall in Ranchi. So that's all in the lesson. So children, go through the lesson once again, read it, and one more comprehension check question is there. Questions are there, do that. In the next video I'll provide you with the summary as well as the question answers. So comprehension check question number 1 again. Had Vipin Babu really lost his memory and forgotten all about a trip to Ranchi? Next question. Why do you think Chunilal did what he did? Chunilal says he has no money. What is it that he does have? Okay. So now go through the chapter, go through the things, write down the question answers and complete your work, read the chapter, and I'll provide you with the summary as well as the question answers in the next video. Okay children, till then, bye bye and take care.